Hello everyone, welcome to Brainy Founder channel. If you've ever felt stuck in the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck or wondered how to break free from financial constraints, then this video is for you. Today, we're diving into the key takeaways from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki and sharing practical steps to help you get started on your journey to financial freedom. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a game-changing book that challenges conventional beliefs about money and investing. Let's jump right into the insights where Kiyosaki provides actionable steps to kickstart your financial journey. Let's go! Chapter 1: Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki opens up this book through an introduction to his dad and poor dad, as he likes to call the central characters of those that have impacted his view in regard to money and wealth. According to Kiyosaki, the two held different attitudes towards money and life. Poor Dad has a PhD and was thus academic to an incredible extent, indicating the worldly regular road toward academic achievement. He stuck to the selfish desire of the self and went into higher education in the first place, and then did the best he could at work while in a more conservative academic professional environment. His life was plagued mostly with poverty, living from check to check and constantly worrying about money. Otherwise, Rich Dad was an entrepreneur who, compared to Poor Dad, had a relative success. It turned out that he wasn't overly educated either, but Rich Dad was having a lot of money. He made it to a level whereby he was financially independent of his entrepreneurship successes and good investments. His way of perceiving money was different, like he took an in-depth consideration of the people who knew money, saw an opportunity and freedom, and not just the ability to survive from nothing else but just money. Kiyosaki outlines the most important lessons he received from each father figure. From his poor dad, he learned the lessons on education, hard work, job security, yet also saw the limits of such thinking, as Poor Dad again did remain in the rat race and still struggled with no money after high academic achievements. All this he learned directly from Rich Dad. From Rich Dad, there was much to take about financial education, risk-taking, and creating assets that will give us income. He trained Kiyosaki to critically appraise common sense where money is concerned and take on a can-do attitude towards what is possible. Chapter 2: The Rich Don't Work for Money. The obvious key to understanding this book is a mindset change that one needs to possess in a quest for financial independence, knowing that the wealthy do not work for money, but rather make money work for them. Kiyosaki gives examples by recalling talking and lessons learned all through his life and interactions with his rich dad, who was a mentor unto him in terms of understanding principles associated with the creation of wealth. He says this by challenging the wisdom most are brought up to believe, heard since childhood, that one will position oneself for financial security by good schooling, getting a good job, and working hard to get a paycheck. Important steps, but usually all of them continue all one's life, leaving him financially dependent and with meager wealth creation, Kiyosaki warns. The need is shifted instead towards financial independence and the change of mind to entrepreneur. Dave insisted that one had to buy into investments that brought forth passive income, like the investment in real estates and stocks or businesses, and not to depend only on the active income that comes from a job. And clearly, he insists that the rich understand what makes for liabilities and assets and work towards having the former that puts money in the pockets while minimizing those that take it out. He is able to illustrate that the rich can use their assets to indeed work for more, making even more money and accumulating wealth throughout the years without having to work at a day job. He contrasts this line of thinking of the poor and the middle class, who most of the time single-mindedly think of working harder or looks for jobs that offer a higher income bracket without an idea on the fundamentals of building more wealth. Besides, Kiyosaki underscores the need for financial education in understanding how money works and in coming up with well-informed decisions regarding investments. He further challenges the reader to go out, get informed about finance, and take charge of the future by learning what had other people been successful. Chapter 3: Why Teach Financial Literacy? This chapter was absolutely in place where Robert Kiyosaki discussed the importance and reason why financial literacy should not generally be a part of traditional educational systems. First of all, an educational curriculum, according to Kiyosaki, in examples from his life and observations by himself, lacks encouraging people's money management abilities in the first place. Precursor to influencing the lifestyles and opportunities of people. He, however, voices the concern that formal education starts and primarily concerns subjects for academics and professions, but does not capture important aspects of education on finances. Many, therefore, have graduated from schools and colleges ignorant how to sort their personal finance, make investments, and acquire a fortune. And, not balancing a checkbook or basic numeracy, says the author, financial literacy is basically much more. Financial literacy covers budgeting, knowledge on investment, credit knowledge, and debt management among its operations, preparing for the future. When persons missed or never got started on the right foundation on financial literacy, they become exposed to making costly mistakes, which might introduce them onto a path of debt and financial insecurity. He continues to elaborate on how serious a role financial illiteracy poses in society. Consumer debts are on the squeeze, while savings rates are stuck low with improper planning for retirement. He says improvement in financial literacy should not only be a primary concern of an individual for his good in the way of financial well-being, but has to be a vital concern for the health and stability of the economy. Furthermore, Kiyosaki insists how financial education enables one to be in a position where one can take charge of one's financial future. Educating oneself about ways in which money works may bring financial independence and create ways not only for one, but also for the family. Throughout the whole series, Kiyosaki made readers question themselves on the need for financial literacy and how much they will struggle to ensure that their financial knowledge is improved. He advises people to find the knowledge in books, courses, and mentors on how money and investment results in making money. Chapter 4: Mind Your Own Business. Robert Kiyosaki continues sharing his ideas about why becoming an entrepreneur and owning a business might be the best way towards financial freedom. Drawing from the robust experiences gained from his professional career with Rich Dad, Kiyosaki encourages his readers to shed off thoughts of being employed and focusing on careers, but instead focus on thinking about creating their sources of income. Kiyosaki starts with the mentality of a job, traditionally where for time and labor one receives a paycheck. However, in comparison to a job providing safety and somewhat less of an income guarantee at its very nature, it also provides both an income cap and a freedom cap. Kiyosaki argues that true wealth and financial freedom come from owning assets and businesses that give rise to passive income. Conclusively, in this connection, the author identifies an entrepreneurial mindset is based on creativity, innovation, and the readiness to take chances. It is the exact opposite of being a slave to employers, economic changes, or management order. Entrepreneurs are able to chart their destiny. No doubt he recognizes that founding a business comes with its challenges and risks, but at the same time brings out the possible rewards and opportunities that entrepreneurship might bring in some individuals. Entrepreneurs find unmet needs in markets, solve problems, and create value for customers by building up profitable businesses over time, which generally lead to prosperity. Likewise, attention elapses to run entrepreneurship to the financial education. His listeners must look or learn not only business and investment principles and guidelines, but also the balances, income statements, and cash flows of such businesses to develop skills and show performance par excellence in a volatile business environment. Kiyosaki shares a meeting with a young, upcoming entrepreneur and his wisdom of some of the upcoming entrepreneurs, importance of finding mentors, investment in self-education, and heart for risks. He challenged every one of the readers to rise above the fears, that which he feels he can't do or accomplish in their lifetime, adopt this mindset of abundance and opportunities. Chapter 5: The History of Taxes and the Power of Corporations. According to Robert Kiyosaki in this chapter, understanding the effect through taxation on wealth accumulation and understanding that the power of corporations is in reducing as it is increasing their tax liabilities. He tells how proven understanding of tax laws and benefits facilitated by incorporation guarantee the work to serious financial success. All the way back, Kiyosaki goes on to narrate how taxing has really changed over the years, especially on how different uses the taxes in funding public services to execute various projects. But further, he underscores on how a tax can work as a barrier to the build-up of wealth in all probability, especially to those people with only earned income from work. The author shows that each and every individual is striving hard to earn, and all that they get in return is learning that all their money gets taken out by taxes from the toiling generation that came before them. Kiyosaki informs that for an individual to become a successful individual in life, free from the rat race and gaining independence both socially and financially, an individual has to appreciate how taxes function and minimize their obligation to pay legally. Kiyosaki now raised the issue of incorporation and how powerful that can be for reducing your tax bill as well as for gaining wealth. He demonstrated that a corporation is treated differently from individuals by the tax code that allows them to have different tax write-offs and strategies on how they can bring down their bills. Further, Kiyosaki insists that understanding the different corporations available, such as C corporations, S corporations, and limited liability companies, LLCs, helps one avail of the best structure in the light of business situations and financial stand. The chapter goes ahead to give practical examples and insights on how one can be able to use the incorporation body and other tax strategies in order to reduce tax liabilities and build their money over time. He also emphasizes financial education and recommends that such people who would want to take advantage of the wisdom work with astute tax advisors in order to make the most tax savings and wealth building be efficient and more. Chapter 6: The Rich Invent Money. In this regard, Robert Kiyosaki ventures into the area of financial creativity. He opens up on the capability of the rich in wealth creation by tactics of innovation and investment. He calls upon readers to forget getting income in the conventional way and seek ways that break all kinds of traditions. Kiyosaki starts by saying that the rich, as opposed to the poor, do keep on thinking of what they can do when everyone else is out thinking of something that they can do after school. People that have made it are few for the same reason that they learn from each other through the sharing of accounts and processes that most people who have made it did so out of creativity, innovation, and strategic thinking. One of those essential principles is the role of leverage in wealth building. Leverage refers to the use of other people's money, time, or resources to increase the returns that flow from one's own. Besides, Kiyosaki speaks of the term financial intelligence and the very fact that, based on it, one may be actually able to recognize and get some opportunities others just overlook. He encourages the readers to invest within their own financial educational process and to gain the tools needed to work these very fiscal concepts. He further reflects on the roles of risks in the process of wealth creation. Most human beings avoid risks to the right or left of them, shivering out of fear to fail or lose, but Kiyosaki argues that in one's calculated risks, there are inevitable risks placed at one's path. He encourages his readers to embrace uncertainty in everything that life presents because most failures are learning experiences in the journey of a successful person. Kiyosaki gives some very practical piece of advice as to how to get involved with financial creativity and innovation. He just fires our urge towards thinking out of the box and challenges the usual wisdom towards seeking more and new opportunities for the generation of wealth. Chapter 7. Work to learn, don't work for money. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki builds his argument that indeed true wealth is assembled not by the paycheck, but through continued learning and personal development work. He also develops his argument that there is a shift in mind, a concept through which one has to work in order to learn other than working to earn. Above all, he lays emphasis on the gathering of all that helpful matter throughout life. Kiyosaki takes place against the root of the traditional idea of success in getting the best possible education, landing in a company or organization to work and serve, and then work up. But, as Kiyosaki argues with quite a winning tongue, the former two might ensure one's monetary future, but they are really at the expense of the overall self-actualization and perhaps at the expense of building up wealth. In the place, Kiyosaki calls for a calling that puts across practical skills, real experience, and putting practical your information to good use as an alternative course from work and education. He considers that people should consider jobs not in the monetary sense they earn, since a source of learning is one area they can cultivate and acquire important skills that people will positively use in other aspects of life, for instance. Additionally, Kiyosaki emphasizes great stress in the positioning of being proactive and initiative in the search for means of self-perfection. A person is advised to read in search of experiences that will challenge and take one out of his or her comfort zones, opening up new prospects. The author has mentioned a lot of personal stories and examples wherein people reached the success point through orientating the goals into issues of learning and personal growth. He has also thrown a bit of light on the role of mentors and role models, whom guide or provide a support role in the way of self-discovery and development of skills. Kiyosaki furthers the role of formal education versus practical experience in whatever success a person gets to achieve. As much as he holds the value of education anyway, yet he also stresses that experience and real kinds of skills in real life are most effective to obtain wealth and fulfillment. Throughout the book, Kiyosaki gives practical advice for people learning to be willing to work to learn, not work for money. He also encourages readers in an aspect of a mindset of learning and curiosity that one can use to make a difference in growing the life of someone. Chapter 8. Overcoming Obstacles. It means that, in defining the middle-class money mindset, they practically show in every detail how much it limits their thinking, opportunities, and capacity to get rich. They do, however, raise that with regard to mindset, resilience, and determination, it is important to pass the ups and downs of the path to wealth. Kiyosaki begins by laying out the fact that it is never an easy road to financial freedom. In many respects, it is much like other roads in life that are beleaguered with hurdles, setbacks, and failures. Collapse, he says, it is the ability to meet such a test that ultimately determines our success. Kiyosaki talks of some of the obstacles, and among them largely is fear. Fear of anything that one can think of, be it failure, taking risks, leaving comfort zones. He points out that fear is a specifically human emotion that at all an individual should not allow to become paralyzing and not prevent them from making an actual move forward to the set goals. Further, Kiyosaki describes how low self-confidence and the wrong approach to thinking stop people from finding a way towards success. He describes avoiding negative thinking and beliefs by killing them and to have an attained success-oriented positive attitude based on growth, possibility, and abundance. Kiyosaki explains the way society looks at things, peer pressure, and other people who would otherwise affect a person's ability to live his dreams. He, however, says integrity should be paramount because no person should dictate life to another. Again, in each chapter, all along the entire book, Kiyosaki goes ahead to assert his points by giving more anecdotal evidence as well as other examples of people who had insurmountable obstacles, yet they could face it and even overcome them on their way to success. He repeats the resiliency, determination, persistence needed to face and get over the challenges one has set. That aside, Kiyosaki goes on murmuring into an interesting concept about failure and its place in the learning process. He advises that a person should treat a failure as one of the natural ingredients on the road to success, urging readers to link it more with opportunities to grow and improve themselves. Chapter 9. Let's get started. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki gives steps and advice to help readers kickstart their journey towards financial independence and wealth building. He offers tips and strategies for taking the steps towards financial success, highlighting the significance of putting ideas into action and applying key concepts learned from the book. Kiyosaki starts off by motivating readers to establish goals for their financial future. He stresses the importance of having a vision of what they aim to accomplish and why it holds significance for them. Whether it involves retirement, launching a business, or reaching a passive income target, setting well-defined goals serves as a driving force and provides direction for moving forward. Following that, Kiyosaki delves into the value of education and personal development in attaining prosperity. He urges readers to keep learning and broaden their understanding of money management, investments, and entrepreneurship. This could entail reading books, attending workshops, enrolling in courses, or seeking out mentors who can offer advice and encouragement along the journey. Furthermore, Kiyosaki underscores the importance of managing one's finances and living within one's means. He advises readers to create a budget, monitor their expenses closely, and pinpoint areas where they can reduce costs and save money. By adopting a lifestyle and focusing on saving and investing, people can establish a financial base for the times ahead. Kiyosaki's word has touched on the aspect of taking of risks and taking the opportunity to expand the ventures and capabilities of oneself. He says in order for one to get to their destiny, one has to get out of the comfort zone, get past the fear, and take stepping stones of starting an enterprise on the side, a real estate or a stock investment, or any others that are startups. All through this chapter, Kiyosaki offers very earthly advice on how one can get started on the road to financial success. He says it is critical to begin with as little steps as that which one can manage, yet be consistent with moving towards the goals. It allows a student to start building wealth and gaining financial freedom slowly. So, there you have it, the key steps to get started on your path to financial freedom, inspired by the timeless wisdom of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Remember, building wealth is a journey, not a sprint. It requires patience, discipline, and a commitment to lifelong learning. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe so that you won't miss out on good knowledge from Brainy Founder channel. Thank you for watching, have a good one!